Ortmans.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellencies. Thank you so much for joining us here this evening on the opening day of the Global Entrepreneurship Congress for our traditional annual Global Entrepreneurship Compass Awards. We are most proud to have all of you here. The purpose of this evening is for us to recognize and honor some of the astounding work being performed by those who are driving and building the entrepreneurial ecosystems around the world, and to recognize them for their efforts. We also hope this evening, after a considerably long day of hard work, is an opportunity for you to relax, to break bread with each other, and also to enjoy your evening. And one of the things that my team knows, that if I was here emceeing today's program, it wouldn't be as much fun as if we had our board member, Jeff Hoffman. So it is my distinct honor, and with great pride, I want to welcome this evening's MC and invite you to give me a warm welcome to Gen's chief evangelist, former co-founder of Priceline, entrepreneur, mentor, and champion and evangelist for Gen, Jeff Hoffman. Please welcome to the stage, Jeff. Thank you.
Thank you. So this is one of my favorite nights of the year. And it's one of my favorite nights of the year because we get to honor you and the work that you guys do. And before we start our annual Compass Awards and dinner, I just want to put a little perspective on why this is so important to us, honoring the work you do. I have, for the last probably 6 years, I have been visiting your countries. I've been going to many of the countries in this room. And in the process of visiting your countries, yes, I have been visiting your entrepreneurs. Today I was off-site working with entrepreneurs here in Bahrain. But in the process of visiting your countries and meeting your entrepreneurs, I've made it a point to go meet your families. And I've made it a point in every country to go to somebody's house and have dinner with their family and break bread with them and sit on the floor and play with their kids and listen and try to understand what life is like where you guys live. And in the process of doing that, I wanted to share a couple of observations. One of the things, you know, we all know that there's 170 countries in attendance here. And I don't know how many people in this room, 500, 600 people room, a couple in the room, a couple thousand at the event. And our diversity is really powerful. The fact that 170 countries yields 170 different stories. Everybody in this room has a different story and a different perspective. And that diversity is what allows us to create amazing solutions. It's really important. In fact, sometimes I sit and I look at this room and I think, if the people in here can't solve the world's problems, we have no excuses. All the firepower, all the brain power, and all the connectivity that we need is right here. This Gen family is one giant living organism. And when we work together, we can do amazing things. But probably more important than our differences is I realized by visiting all of your countries and many of your families that we are all the same in so many ways. Everybody here, everybody in the world, wherever I go, you can forget ethnicity or race or gender or any of those things people talk about. The truth is, everybody's just trying to get along. Everybody's trying to raise their family. Everybody wants to make sure that their children have the best opportunity, that their country offers the best of everything. Everybody wants to make sure that they're breathing clean air and drinking clean water, and that their opportunities, that their education, that their health care. We all want the same thing. And the way, in fact, some days I'll turn the news on, and the other day I wrote down a hashtag. Now, I didn't tweet this, But I wrote down the hashtag because I watch the news, and there's a lot of, quote, bad news in the world. Then we come here, where we spend this week together addressing the world's problems. And I wrote a hashtag before I got on a plane to come here. I wrote down, stop hating, start helping. Because there's so many people spending so much time not helping and just complaining about things. And the way to help, and the reason that we're here tonight, the way to help that we as a group can do is to solve the problems that stand between families all over the world, people all over the world, and what enables them to have a better life. We need to solve problems, right? There's problems everywhere, but if we work together to solve them, we can create a better life for people. But there's just one problem that I see with problem solving in the world, and you guys all know this. Everywhere you go, everybody complains, and very few people do anything about it. People come home, and they complain about the problems around them, and they say how bad it is, and then they go back to what they were doing before that, right? People just do. Actually, you know what they say? What people wind up doing frequently is they say this, and everybody in this room has probably done this once. They say they should help those people, right? They should feed those children. They should clothe those people. They should house those families. But you know what happens? I hear that all over the world. Do you know what happens if everybody looking at a problem in a country says they should feed those children? Who feeds those children? Nobody does. Because everybody is saying they should fix that problem. So I wrote something else. It's written on my wall at home. It's the 4 most important words in my life. And it's the reason my friends say to me all the time, why don't you just retire? You've had a successful business, multiple successful businesses, whatever. I'll tell you why, and I'll tell you what the 4 words I wrote on the wall are. There is no they, okay? They don't make the world better. They don't feed those children, and they don't fix that problem. You do, and we do. And it's right here, and it's right now. There is no they. And here's a piece of good news. There are these silent armies, sometimes underground, working all over the world, fixing those problems, because they know there is no they, and they have taken ownership of the problem. And those armies are entrepreneurs. Those are the people that say, I got this one. They see the problem, thank you, you should clap for them. They are the people that say, I will help those people. I will feed those children. I will fix that problem. Entrepreneurs are the problem solvers and the change makers of our generation because they own the problem that everyone else just complains about. But you know what else about entrepreneurs? They can't do it by themselves. So why are we here? We're here because the entrepreneurs that succeed most frequently are the entrepreneurs that have an ecosystem around them. Jen exists, and this event exists so that we can do everything we can do to help you guys strengthen the ecosystem where you live to improve the chances that your problem solvers will make things better where you live. They can't do it without you. And if you don't think they're doing it, sometimes people think when we give like a little sort of pep talk like this, it's a lot of talk, it's not a lot of talk. Let me tell you what entrepreneurs are doing in your countries that I visited, and then we'll get started with the show. If you're worried about how we treat the earth when we chop down trees, there are some entrepreneurs that created a startup using drones and robots that can plant 1 billion trees a year. That's an entrepreneur. That's a startup. They're up to 400,000 trees a day without humans. An entrepreneur came up with that idea. There is a startup that, if you're worried about people having drinking water, there's an entrepreneur that created a startup that I met that creates drinking water out of thin air. They created a device that if you live nowhere near water, or if the water near you is not safe to drink, this device sucks the moisture out of the air and fills drinking bottles, so people that are nowhere near drinking water get drinking water out of thin air. That is another startup. If you're worried about feeding the world, there is a startup that I've been working with that is creating beef. They're creating meat. They're creating meat out of cell production without ever giving birth to animals. So you can have a steak and the cow is never born and never slaughtered. That was a startup. That was a young lady who said there's got to be a way to feed the world where they don't have access to livestock and cattle. These are entrepreneurs. These are the things they're doing. They cannot do it without you guys. So for tonight, first of all, we honor you, and we honor the things you're doing. Second of all, on behalf of Jen and GEC and all of my colleagues, we thank you. And we thank everybody in this room, because even though you don't get the credit for the startup, I'm going to say it again, they can't do it without you. They need you to succeed. And that's the last thing I want to say before we start our evening. The world needs you. We need ecosystems to make sure that the people creating drinking water and feeding everybody and solving all of these problems have a chance to do that and a chance to succeed. So thank all of you for everything that you do, and let's get this show on the road. Thanks, guys. I think Jonathan's going to come back for the and do the first couple of awards here. Oh, by the way, I want to introduce our band. If you don't recognize them, we had them last year in Istanbul, and we liked them so much that we brought them back. Play something. That seems appropriate right now. Make a musical sound. You're a band. They are, by the way, I asked them the name of the band. John said, John, raise your hand. John said that they put this band together. There we go. Thank you. Thank you, guys. So they put this band together for GEC, for us. They don't even have a name. So tonight, when you thank them, this is John and Friends. When I get a chance, I'll get the name of the friends. Jonathan, why don't you come start us out tonight? Thanks.
Well, Jeff is just wonderful. We've been family for 10 years, and you can see why we love having him as part of our family. I have been asked by many of you, because there's been a rumor in the room, speaking of family. Yes, it is true. For the first time in my career, I have brought one of my children with me who have never even been to my office. I decided that Bahrain was going to be the first time I ever took them anywhere, and I'd like to thank my son, Charlie. Stand up, please. I'm so happy he said he'd be here and come, and Jeff, we are all about making this to do with our families, and I know that one of the people that I'm going to speak about today, I'm hoping to encourage his family to come to my family home in Washington, D.C., and so that we can make this about something important and very, shall I say, sincere and genuine. You know, we're going to begin with an award tonight that is perhaps our most coveted award. It's the award that we call the One Global Ecosystem Award. And consistent with Jeff's comments and the work that we've been doing today, it's naturally awarded to someone that we think has had the largest impact in reaching across national borders and connecting a broad array of stakeholders who help entrepreneurs start and scale businesses. I'd like to tell you a little bit about the recipients of this first award. They are Dr. Ibrahim Janahi, along with the Chief Executive of Tamkeen, along with His Excellency Sheikh Mohammed bin Isa Khalifa, Chairman of Tamkeen. And we'd like to recognize them for their leadership and their courage in hosting this extraordinary event in Bahrain. You know, I was talking to some of our team earlier, and they, without exception, have said that you did more than host this event. You have been our host, but you've also been our mentors. Throughout the last 12 months, we have had the privilege of working very closely with Tamkeen and the Tamkeen leadership and the Tamkeen staff. And for me, it was somewhat of a spiritual experience, because in every communication, it was calm, peaceful, it was listening, it was trying to understand each other. And I have to say, you and your leadership and the impact that has on the people that work for you, who are diverse, who are smart, who are extraordinarily talented, has had a big impression on everyone on my team. And I have to tell you, without exception, I think we all believe that if Tamkeen, and on Tamkeen's behalf, anyone in Bahrain were to ask us at GEN to do anything, we would do it for you. You have shown us with your grace, graciousness, and kindness enormous courage. This is, of course, leadership, and it's why we honor you tonight. It's not just because you're our host. We honor you for your leadership, both of you, because it's events like this that give back to the world, that do what Jeff is talking about, and it's helped us to bring to Bahrain some of the best ideas, we hope, in the future to help drive more risk-takers, doers, and dreamers. So I'd like to invite all of you to join me in a warm standing ovation, not just for our host Tamkeen, but to their leaders and to all of the organizations without whom none of us would be here tonight. So please join me and come to the stage in recognizing Dr. Jahani. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Nice view from here.
Yes.
Thank
you very much indeed.
Thank you.
Very much. Thank you so much indeed.
Thank
Do you want to say something? Okay. Okay. We also have our next special award tonight, which is our Bahrain, which is a special award given to the Bahrain Export Initiative. Export Bahrain, a national development initiative launched by the SME Development Board, has opened opportunities for Bahraini entrepreneurs and private sector businesses seeking to export their products and expand into international markets. As a leading benchmark export development initiative, Export Bahrain creates a unique platform to nurture and support exporting products and services from Bahrain around the world. Aligned with Bahrain's economic vision of 2030, Export Bahrain strives to deliver high-quality, relevant, and impactful export solutions to improve SME accessibility to foreign markets, and also to develop Bahrain's export landscape and diversify opportunities for businesses of all size operating in Bahrain. The initiative provides support services that help grow the scope of business and works towards diversifying export destinations and promoting local products and services globally. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage His Excellency Zayed Rashid Al-Zayani, Minister of Industry and Commerce and Tourism, on behalf of Export Bahrain. Thank you.
Can you call Dr. Nasser Qaidi as well?
Yes, there he is. Can we have the... Thank you. Thank you. No, it is.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much indeed. Thank you.
Sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I think we have a short video for you.
Bahrain is still weaving its great sail on the ship of glory,
where the industry began to form and where civilization began to shine, Bahrain was more prosperous, more advanced. It is still from the 1960s. It is using the manpower and skilled minds and drawing the clear approach to make industry of Bahrain and its economy keeping up and competing the global growth mutations in all fields of industry and work. Just as Bahrain's present day has been shaped by yesterday's brilliant hands, its future and its most beautiful land are also illustrated and are saved for the next generations of the Kingdom of Bahrain.
هذا الحلم اللي راودنا لفترة لتحقيق مركز لدعم الصادرات البحرينية إلى جميع أنحاء العالم. الهدف الرئيسي هو فتح أسواق جديدة بالأخص للشركات والمؤسسات الصغيرة والمتوسطة اللي كان يتعذر عليها تصدير خدماتها ومنتجاتها للعالم.
Different means of support that we can provide to SMEs and enable them to explore global market opportunities and potential. One of the key elements of support that the Export Center will be providing is different support solutions revolving around financing, export credit insurance, and workshops, training, and other support solutions that will enable them to limit barriers to explore international opportunities.
Export Bahrain strives to provide an ideal environment to support and develop domestic exports and achieve Bahrain's 2030s vision of promoting our export-oriented sectors to ensure that Bahraini companies embrace the world's markets for products and services. Export Bahrain works alongside local and international partners to offer Bahraini companies greater international opportunities, exposure, knowledge and solutions to compete on a global level.
We also have a special award tonight in recognition of Tamkeen's investment initiatives to support the startup ecosystem. The number of people, that I've met and over the course of the time that have given the credit for their programs being incubated to Tamkeen is fairly extraordinary. But Tamkeen has done a great job in particular in terms of investors, in terms of allowing the organization to encourage investment linkages and fuel the ability of companies to access funding and raise capital. Tamkeen's investment solutions are designed to cultivate the culture of raising private equity and provide unique solutions and tools that will link companies seeking investment with initiatives and prospective investors. These tools will allow them to competitively position their companies and continue to find sustainable investment solutions and ways to raise funding for their investment initiatives. These initiatives position Bahrain as a globally competitive hub for investors and investment, where Tamkeen plays a unique role in building a strong startup ecosystem that allows entrepreneurs and businesses alike to seek out investment, test their products, and attract investment from around the world to fuel the continued growth and development of the private sector. I'd like to welcome back to the stage two gentlemen to be recognized for this extraordinary effort. I'd like to welcome back Dr. Jahani and also His Excellency Sheikh Mohammed bin Essa Al Khalifa. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Jonathan.
Thank you. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, I have a script, which is ironic because I have not had a script for one single day of my entire life, but I will follow the rules here. Next up to the stage, we're going to do the Jen Compass Award for Champion Catalyzers. I'd like to invite up to the stage Catherine Gao from GEW China and Abdukani Diri from GEW Somalia. Please come and join us on the stage to give away the Catalyst Award.
The Campus Award of the Champion Catalyzers recognizes the Global Entrepreneurship Week hosts that demonstrate the ability to propel a significant activity through their national campaigns, reaching and engaging their fellow citizens through a large number of participants and events.
So, and here are the nominees for Campaign Catalyzers, most GEW events.
Algeria,
Brazil,
the United States,
Poland,
Colombia,
And the winner is Algeria.
Yeah. Okay, and here are the nominees for Campaign Catalyzers, most GEW partners.
Turkey,
Algeria,
United States,
Poland,
Brazil,
And the winner is USA, United States of America.
So next, here are the nominees for Campaign Catalyzers, most GEW events per capita.
Cape Verde,
Bonaire,
Bermuda,
Denmark,
Israel,
And the winner is Cape Verde.
Nominees for Campaign Catalyzers, most GEW partners per capita.
Cape Verde,
Bermuda,
Curacao,
Paraguay,
Kosovo,
And the winner is Croatia.
Thank you very much, and congratulations to the winners. And I thought you guys were going to play the national anthems of each country as they came up here. That was our agreement. I don't think those were it. All right, coming up next, we're doing the Gen Rookie of the Year Award, and I'd like to bring to the stage Hikmat Abdurrahmanov, and Jonathan, I got a name right, and Susan Amat from our GEW Global Board, and Hikmat's from Uzbekistan. Thank you very much.
Hi, everybody. The Compass Award for the Gen Rookie of the Year recognizes a new member of the Global Entrepreneurship Network from any one of the programs or initiatives in celebrating, understanding, supporting, and connecting entrepreneurs.
This award recognizes contributions to supporting the development of entrepreneurs in an individual or organization's community or national ecosystem. Here are your nominees.
New in 2018, GEW host Daffodil University is recognized for hosting the largest GEW campaign to date in Bangladesh. Daffodil University created a GEW campaign that included 120 events, connected with 8,500 people, and engaged government agencies as well as the nation's major ecosystem stakeholders. The university has also taken a lead role in forming Gen Bangladesh as a founding board member, launching Startup Huddle in Dhaka, and will also host the Entrepreneurship World Cup National Finals in 2019.
Zebre, who in their first year as GEW host for Brazil achieved record-breaking scale with the country's GEW 2018 campaign, Through Sabray's leadership, it included more than 8,100 events and more than 700,000 participants.
Tatweer Muser, Egypt. Tatweer Muser, for its generous and consistent sponsorship and support of GEW in Egypt. It's supported Gen Egypt and its global leadership in launching Gen's newest startup campus in Cairo. By initiating the Gen at Bloomfields project, Tatweer is working to position New Cairo as an epicenter for startups and innovation in the region, with the new startup campus set to open by 2021.
Our new GEW host in Iran, Isfahan Research and Technology Network, for hosting the largest GEW to date in Iran. That included more than 230 events, attracting nearly 250,000 attendees, celebrities, and government officials, including Iranian President Hassan Rouhani and Vice President Zurina Satari.
The MISC Global Forum for its leadership of the Entrepreneurship World Cup. EWC is an international pitch competition providing participating startups with training, resources, connections, and mentorship that seeks to help 100,000 entrepreneurs from 100 different countries and offering up to $5 million in prizes. In doing so, the MISC Global Forum is helping create more opportunity, especially for youth in places where talent is plentiful, but opportunity is not.
That is some tough competition. Well, we're really excited to announce that the Gen Rookie of the Year is Daffodil University from Bangladesh.
Next to the stage, I'd like to bring up Neil Dillon, a Gen Global Board member, and Mark Marish, Executive Vice President of Gen Global, and they're going to announce the Brand Champions winner. Hey Neil, how are you, bud?
Good evening. The Compass Award for Brand Champions recognizes the member of the Global Entrepreneurship Network that best advances the Gen brand, aligning its programs and initiatives within the Compass family to represent the intersection of ideas, cultures, and information, and symbolizing its inclusive international reach.
The following nominees have taken creativity to the next level by creating some stunning visuals and event experiences throughout the year. Here are the nominees for the Gen Compass Award for Brand Champions.
Tom Keane and Publicist Live for understanding the spirit of the Compass, the essence of Gen, its programs, partners, and national affiliates, and the Gen communities from all corners of the world. They are recognized for together designing this, the GEC, and this extraordinary place, Bahrain. They have shown a commitment to excellence in design, a disciplined brand interpretation, and sheer creative talent.
The Belby Center for Business Communication in Belarus for their innovative use of the Gen Compass brand both in digital and print materials during its Global Entrepreneurship Week campaigns. Belarus is recognized for their excellence in GW branding as part of all major activities during the week.
Gen Egypt for their incredible commitment through multiple events and promotional efforts to align with Gen Global branding and the branding for Global Entrepreneurship Week. Gen Egypt is also recognized for their extraordinary work in designing the concept of Gen at Bloomfields in Cairo, and for organizing a large and effective launch event for the ecosystem.
Innovation Center Kosovo for their continued success in raising awareness of Global Entrepreneurship Week throughout the country and excellent use of the Gen Compass. This past November, GEW Kosovo spotlighted their commitment to not only the GEW mission and goals, but in also bringing the brand into the government sector. Kosovo opened their 2018 GEW activities in Parliament among VIP government leaders.
Gen Uzbekistan is recognized for their excellence in branding in conjunction with its GEW campaign and branding efforts for the week-long celebration. Organizers were committed to finding creative ways to use the compass at all locations.
For the Compass Awards for Brand Champions, we actually have 2 winners. Thank you. Put that. Don't do that. Okay. Just want to grab the right envelope. And the award goes to Tom Keene from Bahrain and
Publicis Live.
Next to the stage, we'd like to welcome Mariano Meyer, the Secretary of Entrepreneurs and SMEs from Argentina, and Yaten Thakur from Gen India. Please join us on stage to give out the Ecosystems Champion Award.
Can we have some suspense music? Okay, perfect. Okay. The Campus Award for Ecosystem Champions is given to an individual who has contributed most to driving positive, long-term, and inclusive growth of their local ecosystem through frontline programs and educational efforts to advance innovation and support startups.
And to recognize the work of these ecosystem champions from around the world, let's meet our nominees.
Alessia Fortuna from Gen Moldova for her work in creating sustainable programs and initiatives to support startup ecosystems across Moldova. Alessia created 5 new entrepreneurship programs with support from the United States government and Municipal Department of Education that are active in 8 regions of Moldova. Alessia has also successfully leveraged Gen's programming and global network, regularly bringing other country managing directors and other Gen ecosystem leaders to Moldova in an effort to exchange knowledge and build stronger startup ecosystems.
David Kuo, Dave Moskowitz, Yaten Thakur, and their colleagues from Gen Asia for creating the G-Asia Pass. Winning first place at the 2018 Startup Nations Policy Hack, the G-Asia Pass is a new initiative by Gen Asia to offer digital entrepreneur membership cards. By doing so, the pass will facilitate cross-border access to foreign government startup support services, such as startup visas or tax benefits, speed up the process, and make it possible for entrepreneurs to co-create new firms with counterparts in other ecosystems.
Kizito Okechukwu, 22 on Sloan. Kizito Okechukwu from Gen South Africa for consistently raising the bar with his rapid rollout of new initiatives. Through his dedication, South Africa hosted GEC 2017 in Johannesburg, as well as the GEC Plus in Cape Town. South Africa will also host the next Startup Nation Summit, serving as a leader in policymaking in our field. Kizito has also created Gen's first startup campus, the 10,000 square meter 22 on Sloan, and helped launch Startup Huddle in South Africa. He helps guide Gen Africa with leaders from the continent, which will host a GEC Plus Africa in Rwanda this October. Because of Kizito, Gen enjoys strong support from the South African government, particularly President Cyril Ramaphosa and Minister Lindiwe Zulu.
Victor Wong, Philip Gaskin, and Andy Stoll from the Kauffman Foundation for groundbreaking work in establishing a new vision for building ecosystems and communities across America. By convening and listening to hundreds of community leaders in small towns across America, the Kauffman eShip team has provided the world with a new playbook for ecosystem builders that promises to inspire further knowledge creation and even a new profession for those helping small and mid-tier communities develop a sustainable common vision for what they refer to as our makers, doers, and dreamers.
Michelle Samuel for her work organizing Startup Huddle's chapter in St. Lucia. Her drive and commitment helped host 5 Startup Huddles in just 5 months. Michelle has put significant time and energy into building the program and has gone above and beyond in engaging her community, collaborating with the GEW St. Lucia team, and collaborating with Gen members throughout the Caribbean, resulting in a Startup Huddle program that is fully aligned with other Gen programs and successfully supporting local entrepreneurs.
Okay. Let's see. Perfect. Okay. And the winner is Victor Huang, Philip Gaskin, and Andy Stoll from the Kauffman Foundation.
Thank you. Hey, I know we're not done yet, but what do you guys think of the band? Let's hear it for that music they're creating. That's impressive stuff, people. All right, next to the stage for the Capital Champions script, I have the pleasure of bringing Rebecca Huang, a Gen Global Board member.
Good evening. It is my pleasure to present the award for the Compass Award for Capital Champions, which recognizes achievements and outstanding contributions to the building, guiding, or managing of an angel network or investor training program to help advance cross-border investing or the development of early-stage investing in emerging markets. And here are the nominees for the Compass Award for Capital Champions.
Baibars Altuntas, founder of the World Business Angel Forum, for his persistent and energetic leadership in investor knowledge sharing around the world. Baibars has traveled extensively across the globe to offer opportunities for emerging entrepreneurs and policymakers, with a focus on getting wealthier citizens in their societies to join their ecosystems and engage in cross-border investing.
John May, a founding board member of GBAN, for his lifetime contribution to making it possible for all nations to learn from a more sophisticated angel culture in the United States. Whether through his 2 books, sharing the international exchange of the ACA annual meeting, or traveling the world to coach angel investor communities, John has been giving back his whole life to the cause.
Marianne Hudson, for years of dedicated work beginning at the Kauffman Foundation and then later at the Angel Capital Association, advancing angel investor clubs, networks, and communities, and for her vigilance and thought leadership in advancing angel-friendly policies with government. Following her success in the United States, Marianne supported efforts to build what is now the Global Business Angel Network, a collection of angel investor networks dedicated to leveling the playing field for entrepreneurs who need capital to grow.
Padmaja Ruparel from the Indian Angel Network. Padmaja is a powerful voice in India as well as around the world in helping less mature entrepreneurial ecosystems see the promise that they too can compete on a global stage. Padmaja brings extraordinary leadership to the GBAN community and is doing important work in Asia in accelerating investor opportunities previously held only by Western networks.
Tomi Davies, for establishing the African Business Angel Network. Based out of Nigeria, Tomi has successfully put Africa on the map for investors and leveraged methodologies from other parts of the world to ensure Africa's founders get their fair share of investor attention.
Excellent. So let's get the envelope with the name of the winner. Thank you. I thought there's some drum rolls before. What happened to those? And the winner is Marianne Hudson. Unfortunately, Marianne could not be here with us tonight, so I would like to invite any of the nominees here with us tonight to come to stage, and also Marianne's colleague, Peter Adams, to come to stage to accept the award on Marianne's behalf. Congratulations. Any of the other nominees, if you want to come to stage, you're welcome to.
Thank you, Rebecca. Next, we're going to give out the award for the policy champions. And I'd like to invite to the stage Minister Aisha Abubakare from the Nigerian Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, and Vilyar Lubi, the Deputy Secretary General for Economic Development in Estonia. Please join us on stage.
The Compass Award for Policy Champions is given to the Global Entrepreneurship Network member who has made the most significant contribution to removing barriers to entrepreneurship through new government programs or changes to regulations at either the local, national, or global level.
Let's recognize the hardworking nominees, and the nominees are
the Alliance for Entrepreneurship and Innovation of Ecuador, for mobilizing more than 200 stakeholders from across the ecosystem to work together and design a new policy roadmap. Because of their efforts, the Ecuadorian Congress is now, for the first time, considering new legislation to foster new and young businesses. The Alliance has also played a key role in launching the 2020 strategy for an entrepreneurial and innovative country, which was designed from the bottom up.
Moan Shad from Saudi Arabia for policy initiatives that are breaking down the barriers between creating new, high-growth companies and increasingly economic impact of SMEs. Monsha'at has worked on comprehensive assessments and reviews of policies and programs in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and how they can be improved to advance entrepreneurial growth. Through its leadership, Monsha'at has championed some major breakthroughs, including a new venture capital fund with $1 billion in US dollars for early-stage startups.
The National Institution for Transforming India for leading a comprehensive policy review to develop new initiatives to support women entrepreneurs in India, minimizing barriers and maximizing inclusion. Led by Anna Roy, emerging from the recent Global Entrepreneurship Summit in Hyderabad, hosted by India and the United States and implemented by GEN, the launch of the new Women's Entrepreneurship Platform has brought together different government departments in a collaborative effort to make it easier to support women founders. This work has created a roadmap for India and the world as to how to advance opportunities for women who want to become entrepreneurs.
The National Council for the Orange Economy in Colombia, for bringing together 7 ministries and 5 agencies from the national government to better understand the impact of creative entrepreneurs. In order to overcome the common challenge of ministries competing for the entrepreneurship lead role, NCOE uses the strategy of developing new metrics for measuring the creative economy as the common denominator. This work provides a framework for cooperation among overlapping government agencies in developing legislation that supports entrepreneurs and their creative economy.
The United Nations Conference on Trade and Development for developing an index of web portals that outline and enable simple online business registration. UNCTAD's efforts offers nations with large informal economies an innovative vision for how entrepreneurship can drive its citizens into the formal economy and the tools it needs to do it. This last year in Iraq, UNCTAD helped the government simplify and automate what was a difficult process, specifically reducing the number of requirements for entrepreneurs from 47 to 21, slashing the amount of time it takes to start a business.
Okay.
And the winner is United Nations Conference on Trade and Development. Congrats.
Thank you. Congratulations. Next, we'd like to bring to the stage, ¿Dónde está mi hermanita? Where are you? There she is. Mi hermanita Cristina Fernandez, the Vice President of Research and Policy at GEN Global, and Peter Comives, our Vice President for Strategic Development at GEN Global. Thanks, Peter.
The Compass Award for Research Champions is given to a member of the Global Entrepreneurship Research Network, a member that has done rigorous analysis to unveil evidence-based solutions. And the nominees are...
That's my line.
Sorry. Say your line.
The Argydius Foundation and the Aspen Network for Development Entrepreneurs for groundbreaking new research looking across the world for evidence on what works and doesn't work to support enterprise growth. Both these organizations work together to determine what components of a support program lead to better outcomes and higher performance, laying the groundwork for important efforts within GEN to build a more data-ready community of entrepreneurship support organizations.
The Innovation Growth Lab by Nesta for fostering experimentation as an organizational culture and evaluation approach to improve entrepreneurship support. The lab has conducted more than a dozen experiments to determine the effectiveness of startup programs. This data will help ecosystems better understand what is and is not working to support founders of new firms.
The Mars Data Catalyst for using data to provide insights on entrepreneurship as a way to tackle systemic barriers and to inform policy decisions. Its network mapping methodology is endorsed by GERN and has helped the organization better understand the complex relationships between entrepreneurs, mentors, investors, educators, and the government in Toronto. Because of its work, Mars Data Catalyst is seen as a trusted source in Ontario, connecting people with data.
PRODEM, for adopting and expanding a systemic approach to ecosystem building in Latin America. Now, PRODEM is expanding its dynamic entrepreneurship analysis methodology to other regions of the world after 5 years of recorded success in Latin America. PRODEM is also taking its approach a step further, looking at how its methodology can also be applied to cities in Latin America.
Startup Genome for its work in understanding startup ecosystem dynamics, cycles, and developments, which are detailed in its Global Startup Ecosystem Report, and turning those findings into recommendations for policymakers keen for timely advice. The report quantifies success factors that drive ecosystem performance by looking at more than 100 metrics in more than 50 cities across the globe. This research provides a significant framework to ecosystem builders and policymakers to make sure they support founders in meaningful ways. It has also made important progress in helping government decision makers better understand the data and analysis available to them.
You can have my line now. Please. Please say it.
Okay, I've got a new line.
Yeah. And the winner.
And I'm making the most of it. The winner is Startup Genome.
Left so much trash.
Okay, we're almost there, folks. Just a couple more left. For GEW Campaign of the Year now, I'd like to bring up to the stage Elmira Barasli of the GEW Global Board and Alexandra Koch from Gen Germany to present the next award.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for being here.
Great. Where's Alexandra? Yay.
There,
Hello.
there she is.
Great, excellent. Hi, I'm Elmira. I'm Alex, hi. The Compass Award for Global Entrepreneurship Week Campaign of the Year is given to the host organization that ran the best overall operation, demonstrating national scale, involvement of a diverse collection of ecosystem leaders, creative ways to reach new audiences, and impact in terms of fueling public involvement in partner programs and other opportunities within the current ecosystem. In other words, the people that did the best job.
And here are the nominees for the GEW Campaign of the Year Award.
GEW Algeria and the Gen Algeria team for having one of the highest number of events during the week for the 4th consecutive year. GEW Algeria reached more than 400,000 people across the country and featured support from government officials, including representatives from the U.S. Embassy and the Ministers of Education, Youth and Sports.
GEW Brazil and host organization Sabre for a record number of activities during Global Entrepreneurship Week. GEW Brazil featured more than 8,100 events across the country, engaging more than 700,000 participants. This is the first year for Sabre to host the celebration in Brazil.
GEW Cape Verde and host the Association of Young Entrepreneurs of Cape Verde for excellence in GEW celebrations and the successful integration of the week into the state budget of the country. GEW Cape Verde has support from a variety of local and regional government agencies, as well as private sector corporations.
GEW Denmark and host organization the Danish Entrepreneurship Association for their innovation in Global Entrepreneurship Week content and programming. GEW Denmark tackled key themes from the Sustainable Development Goals, working to foster entrepreneurship on both the local and national level. High-level government officials also supported the week.
GEW Russia and hosts the Center for Entrepreneurship for their continued commitment to strengthening and innovating their Global Entrepreneurship Week campaign. More than 57 regions in Russia participated in GEW, reaching more than 250,000 people. GEW also received full official endorsement from the highest level of government. As part of its activities, GEW Russia collected data from participants to better adapt its programs and to learn more about local entrepreneurs and their needs.
Great. And the winner is, do you want to say it?
GEW Brazil.
Okay, so we've come to that time for the final award of the night, the big one. I'm going to leave you, and before I bring our last two presenters up, I just want to remind you guys again how important you are. I recently held a youth entrepreneurship summit, and 5-year-old kids from different countries were pitching me ideas how to make their schools and their neighborhoods better. That is what we're trying to get to. When our children think that through a career as an entrepreneur, they can make things better, we are making progress. So the key to a better world is entrepreneurs. The key to entrepreneurial success is ecosystems, and the key to ecosystems is you guys. Please keep doing what you're doing. Our last reward is the Country of the Year here. I'd like to invite to the stage my brother from another mother, Kizito Okachukwu, and Jonathan Ortmans to finish out the night for us.
Kizito, before we get started, I want to have a chance to ask everybody to do something 1 year late, if you could. Last year, many of you may remember that the winner of this award was South Africa. And you might say, for the man that we all know has essentially launched every single program we've done in South Africa, including creating new ones with us, why wasn't he there? We had some excuse. The GEC happened to coincide with his wedding. So, I'd like to ask you all tonight, 1 year late, if you would first join me in congratulating Kizito for the extraordinary work he's doing. his ministers and many of his colleagues and many of the South African delegation that are also here tonight accepted the award on his behalf. But Kizito, we thought it's right and fitting that you're here tonight. So the Compass Award for Gen Country of the Year is given to the Global Entrepreneurship Network chapter that has demonstrated national ecosystem leadership, facilitating collaboration among a broad base of partner organizations throughout their country, leveraging Gen programs and cultivating an environment conducive to entrepreneurial growth.
This Gen Country affiliate will have or is working to establish the best foundation for a unified and healthy entrepreneurship ecosystem in their country. So here are the nominees for the Gen Country of the Year Award.
Gen Algeria, for all-around performance with its new sustainable programming, such as the Entrepreneurship Leadership and Innovation Program. This program trained more than 1,300 people between the ages of 18 and 24 in 22 cities across Algeria and created 162 new startups. Its Campus Ambassador program operates in more than 40 cities, and Algeria's 2018 GEW campaign was again one of the largest in the world.
Gen Bahrain for overcoming the challenges in the region by forming a neutral and independent board, and for developing a strong national Global Entrepreneurship Week campaign with events covering all 4 global themes. It has also adopted Gen programs such as Startup Huddle to increase ecosystem density and connectivity, and hosted the first Entrepreneurship World Cup competition to elevate local founders. Gen Bahrain is made possible through the support of our GEC host, Tam Keen, without whom these awards would not be possible.
Gen Egypt for its extraordinary full-time staff and performance across multiple programs, including a strong GEW campaign across the entire country. One of the first Gen Country operations, it fast-tracked its growth by adopting an existing organization and is now taking on one of Gen's biggest projects ever, Gen at Bloomfields. With support from Tatwir Muser, Gen's newest startup campus in Cairo is scheduled to open in 2021 with a broad range of programming and communities.
Gen Philippines for its commitment to the Gen Country Blueprint, and for its extensive startup support programming, including Startup Huddle Manila, the Gen Philippines Forum, and a nationwide campaign for the Entrepreneurship World Cup. Its longest-running and largest program is still a consistently strong Global Entrepreneurship Week, which in 2018 had 529 events with 144 partners and connected more than 260,000 participants.
Gen Saudi for its careful research and analysis, supported by Manshat, combining the world for what works in enabling entrepreneurship. Its full-time team of 7 based in Jeddah has developed one of the smartest strategies for investing time and resources and setting and achieving bold goals for the ecosystem in the future. Gen Saudi's board is broad-based, aligned, and includes national leaders from venture capital, universities, incubators and accelerators, and private partners such as Microsoft.
I'll read this bit. The 2019 Gen Compass Award for Gen Country of the Year goes to
Gen Egypt.
So Jeff, you're not coming back up on the stage. We're going to do our ending song and dance here. No, I want to, of course, like many people do in an occasion like this, is to recognize all of the great work done by those of you in this community. The fact you're here, you're showing up, you're committed to the cause, and you're, as Jeff has described to us, part of this global common vision. I want to thank everyone that's been involved in advancing this mission, of course, of the year, and commit to you that we're with you and we're there to make it possible for you in the future. I do want to conclude this evening, which we've labored to ensure that we end promptly and on time, with good news too. If you also want to join me in congratulating our nominees and indeed our winners of the awards tonight, we'd like to invite you all to join us for a reception at the Westin Hotel on the 3rd floor next to the swimming pool. We'd love to invite you to join us to come and shake the hands and congratulate our winners this evening. So without further ado, I would also like to pay special recognition to this evening the members of our board. I know many people in this room have a board of directors, but you have to trust me when I say I have the best board of directors in the world. They are kind, supportive, but most of all, they're focused on our dream. They're focused on how do we go on striving to be better at making it possible for anyone, anywhere, to start or scale a firm, to take a risk, to be a doer, a maker, a dreamer, a believer. And it's without them that I wouldn't have the freedom, along with my team, to be able to embark upon that mission. I never get a chance to thank you. We're such a hard-working board. We come together, we get straight to business. But I'd like to ask you all if you would thank the 3 board members who are here this evening. In fact, Elmira too should stand up. All of the board involved. We've got Jeff, Rebecca, Neil Dillon. You met many of them on the stage tonight. They really are extraordinary people, and it's without their leadership that all of us at GEM would not have this opportunity. So I finish tonight with a final thank you to the people of Bahrain, to Tamkeen, for all of the partners that Tamkeen has assembled to make the GEC possible, because it's they who are our hosts tonight for the annual Compass Awards. I'd like to thank them very much indeed once again for their hospitality. I know we have a good 3 more days together, and we're really looking forward to this. But please join me once again in a warm thank you to our host, Tamkeen. Thank you. We'll see you at the reception. Thank you very much indeed.